This was a resilient win by the Chiefs. The Chiefs won 23-20 in overtime, and they really had a lot going against them. At their one of the first plays at their own 7, it's 2nd and 7, and Mahomes tries to throw it in the flat, and Laidu Latu tips it up in the air and retrieves it, and that practically gifted the Colts a touchdown. And I said before the game that if Mahomes gets a turnover, it's going to be really, really bad for the Chiefs, and it's going to be really hard for them to come back from that. And it certainly looked like that for the majority of the game. Colts went up 14-3. Chiefs were able to get into the red zone, but they just weren't able to convert, and they just weren't able to get touchdowns. Luckily, the defense was able to hold up their end of the bargain, and it was 14-9 going into the second half. But to be fair to the Chiefs, they did get screwed out of a touchdown. Travis Kelce specifically got screwed. Jawan Taylor got called for a face mask when he was clearly grabbing the helmet. It wasn't really part of the face mask. Wasn't really happy with that call, and they said it on the broadcast also. And that really, really sucks. People talk about how the refs are always on the Chiefs' side. Well, they certainly weren't on their side in that moment. And Mahomes also screwed him out of a TD also. He tries to throw it to Rashee Rice, but he doesn't throw it to his outside shoulder. And if he does, that probably would have been a touchdown also. Third quarter, though, the Chiefs have the ball, and I'm thinking, okay, you can cut this to 2 or potentially take the lead, but the Chiefs can't get any offense going. They punt twice, can't score, and the Colts get 2 field goals, and all of a sudden they're up 20-9. But then the table started to turn, and the Chiefs' offense started to get going. Although Kareem Hunt fumbled very early in the fourth, which was very costly, and before that also on a play, Mahomes got pressured and missed Juju for a touchdown, and I'm thinking up 20-9 in the fourth quarter. I'm thinking, okay, the Chiefs are massively screwed. It's over. They're turning the ball over. Patrick Mahomes can't seem to read the field well. Tony Romo said on the broadcast that he was moving off his reads way too fast, and he just was not letting plays develop. But the Colts, they couldn't do anything offensively. They just kept going 3-and-out, and the Chiefs defense just kept going after Daniel Jones. Then the Chiefs come down and get a touchdown. They cut it to 20-17. The Chiefs went for 2, and I didn't exactly agree with that decision. I'm thinking like, okay, if you're down 20-16, if the Colts kick a field goal, you're down 23-16. But if you miss the extra 2 points, then you're really, really screwed because converting 2-point conversions is really, really hard. But whatever, nonetheless, the Colts. I mean, excuse me, the Chiefs were able to get the 2 points going, and the Colts offense, like I said, couldn't do anything. The Chiefs get the ball back, and after being off for a lot of the day, Mahomes made some big throws to tie the game up at the end of the fourth quarter. With about 4.5 minutes left, he connects with Rashee Rice on a 2nd and 13, backed up at their own goal line for 47 yards. Rice got crazy yak out of that play. Then on 4th and 3 with 3 minutes, which is pretty much a gotta have it play. If you don't uh, convert that, the game is probably over. He hits Rashee Rice for 18 yards. They tie the game up, head to overtime, and guess what? The Colts have the ball in overtime. They're not able to do anything with it. The Chiefs come down, they get a field goal, and they win the game. I just want to talk about the Chiefs. The Colts, excuse me. They had 18 yards of offense against the Chiefs in that fourth quarter. Just pathetic. The Chiefs had 239 yards. And I said this before the game that if they're able to limit Jonathan Taylor, then the Chiefs have a pretty good chance of winning. And they were able to do that for sure. Jonathan Taylor had 16 carries for 58 yards. And considering the fact that they were up, I'm surprised that the Colts didn't run the ball even more, even though Jonathan Taylor wasn't running the ball particularly well. Rashee Rice was awesome. After not doing much in the first half, he broke out. He had 9 yards in the first half. He had 132 yards in the second half. So kudos to him. And I want to give the defense credit because it just seems like the defense has not been able to get critical stops, and it's not the same dominant force that it was last season. But even though the Chiefs were down big, like 11 points in the first half and in the fourth quarter, they came up big and they were able to stop Daniel Jones. And I can understand why the Colts would be Colts fans would be concerned after this loss. The Colts had time after time to put this game away, but they just could not capitalize whatsoever. The Chiefs just won the battle of possession, 42 minutes to 35 seconds to 25 minutes to 28 seconds for the Colts. Colts also had a lot of penalties, 11 penalties for 83 yards, and the Chiefs had 7 penalties for 57 yards. The Chiefs had 33 first downs to the Colts 10. And if the Chiefs weren't so bad in the red zone, there's a pretty good chance that they can win this game pretty comfortably, but they couldn't, and they got to figure the red zone part out because even though they were able to win against the Colts, it's not going to necessarily work like that against every other team, especially some of the other elite teams in the AFC. Daniel Jones is a concern. Like just this game when he needed to make critical plays, he just couldn't do it, and that's the big concern about him. Like if the running game doesn't work, can he start throwing the ball? And it just doesn't seem like he can do that, and he needs the run game to work so that he can function better as a quarterback. And that's why I really can't take the Colts seriously in the playoffs because I don't know, when it rests on Daniel Jones' shoulders, I just don't think he's going to be able to come out and just make plays. Ernie Adams, who was a researcher for the Patriots, he said his mark of a good quarterback is if everyone knows that the quarterback needs to throw the ball and you're down big, whether it's like the fans, the opposing coaches, the players on the field, if they know you're going to throw the ball every time and you can make throws, then that shows the sign of a great quarterback. And I just don't think Daniel Jones is going to be able to do that when it comes to nut crunching time in the playoffs. But I want to talk about a rookie quarterback. I want to talk about Cleveland, Las Vegas. Cleveland won 20.